All right, welcome to RetireJapan TV, where we talk about personal finance, investing, retirement, life in Japan, and whatever else comes to mind, really. How are you doing, Daniel?
Hello, very well. People might notice I'm in a different place today. Just,
You're in a very
just hanging out.
cool place.
Yeah, well, if you don't live in Japan, you should know that when you do live in Japan, by law, your house has to have a warrior outfit and a no mask. It's like the thing that everybody does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm feeling very inadequate with my background today. So
come on then. What is it? There's something hiding in the back there, isn't there?
the white snake.
I was thinking of the belt, the jiu-jitsu stuff hanging up with the belt.
Oh yes, yes. Just casually flexing my my belt and stuff. Oh yeah.
Watch out if you're up in Sendai.
Yes, I'm back at jiu-jitsu. I went back last week.
Congratulations.
After the incident. So I've been off
Right.
for
Yeah,
a month.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. We were just talking about that today. Is it all recovered? Because
So yeah, I went to the city hospital on Monday to see my very overworked and uninterested doctor. It was like from the start, he was like, "Yeah, this really isn't a very big deal. Like you're making way too much fuss about it." So yeah, I went back on Monday, and you know how when you go to the hospital, and they say go and wait over there, and we'll call your number.
Yeah,
and it takes hours. Right, normally it takes. I went in and I hadn't even sat down when they called my number.
Wow. Okay, impressive.
First time that's ever happened. So I guess he was having an easy day. So I got called in immediately, and then he kind of took a look at it and was like, "Yep, I think we're done here. You don't need to come anymore. Bye."
You sure that's the doctor, not the post office?
So yeah, apparently it's healed over.
Excellent.
It still looks pretty rough.
Right.
And he said within 6 months or so, it should heal over nicely.
Okay.
Because right now there's this big line of scar tissue across the front. But yeah, fingers crossed.
Wow.
And it doesn't really hurt anymore. It just feels weird because all the nerves are reconnected in different places, basically.
Right. And if you're doing jiu-jitsu and you bash it, you damage it again, is it going to is it very vulnerable? It's going to split open, or is it?
I don't think so. So I've stopped putting plasters on it, except when I go to jiu-jitsu. So I put a big plaster and kind of wrap it around the toe. So it's fairly sturdy. Yeah, should be good. And weirdly, my nail grew back.
Oh.
So the nail was gone completely.
If people don't know the context of this, it's going to be very weird. He had a nasty accident doing training at the home gym, tried to wiggle something with your foot, something fell on it, chopped your toe off and something like that. And then, yeah, it was all very messy.
Yeah, so weirdly, the nail grew back on a place that didn't have a nail before. So
wow.
the nail was completely removed. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to have a toenail anymore, right? It's grown back.
Wow. The human body.
The human body is remarkable. It really is.
Yeah. You're like a gecko growing a tail back.
Yeah, my grandkids were like, "Oh, is your toe going to grow back?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not reptilian enough."
Yeah. Wow, that's good though. I'm very happy for you. Wow.
Yeah, it feels good to be training again. Definitely. I've missed it a lot. So.
Right.
Wow. Awesome. How's everyone doing out there? So in Sendai today, it is insanely humid. It's so humid that the moisture's kind of, what's it called? Condensing out of the air and turning into this kind of like misty fog thing. I've even had the air conditioning on just to bring the humidity down a bit.
Wow. Already.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hot. It's just, it's like 120% moisture.
Right. I think. Hang on, 120% moisture.
Yeah, and that's all right. It's like, yeah, it's high though. It's really high.
Right. I got a little cheap digital humidity thing, but I'm not sure if it's accurate because it always says it's like 60%, even in the winter. Surely it must change through the year. I don't know.
Oh, really? Because ours goes down to about 40 in the winter if we don't run stuff.
Oh, okay.
40%, and then in the summer it's kind of 60, 70.
Right. Don't know. And there's a building that on the bus, there's a big building with a digital signboard outside telling the world what the temperature and the humidity is, and that always seems to be 90 something. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm looking for a reliable humidity meter if anyone knows one.
Yeah. Actually, I think I've got one. Just a sec.
I'll have to talk to the audience.
Do.
Oh, here we go.
I do.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, fancy. Oh, that's a fancy
So
one.
that is
Oh,
after running the AC for a couple of hours.
After it's still a 68.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was way. I mean, and I've turned the AC off now, so you can see it's ticking up again. So
Right. Yeah.
by the end of the show, we'll see what it shows at that point.
Wow. Speaking of which, a quick bonus money tip: if you have got an air conditioner at home, I've found, and I actually got some advice on this. It's got two buttons. It's got the cooler button, like the go down, the drop the temperature, but it also has a joshitsu, I think it's called, get rid of the humidity in the air button, and that for us, even in the summer, cools down the room to a comfortable level. And it's not actively cooling it, it's just taking the moisture out, which on its own drops the temperature, and that saves a lot of electricity. So if you want to save electricity with your air conditioner, try using that just to the dehumidity button first and see if it's enough, because oftentimes it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's surprisingly effective.
I find though that it doesn't work as well as even to pull the humidity down as just running the AC in cold.
Oh, right.
Like we've got fancy AC where you can set the desired humidity. And just running it cold it seems to be we actually run it from like now until October. We never turn it off.
Okay.
And weirdly, my electric bill's not that bad. So I think it's just really efficient because it's quite a new one.
Okay.
And if we run it in the winter, it uses way more electricity because heating, I don't know, takes more. But cooling, really, you'd think it would be a lot more expensive than it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Wow.
But it started, the AC season has begun, unfortunately.
Right. In an apartment building as well, you're going to be warmer anyway, aren't you, than a standalone house?
As long as it's well built, yeah. And then also we put quadruple glazing on the windows. So we're an inner concrete box. We've got neighbors on every side, and then we've got quadruple glazing on the ends. So it's pretty good, actually.
So you fill a bath and the whole apartment is really hot.
Well, pretty much. So if we go away in the winter for like 2 weeks and come back, it's still like 13 degrees inside.
Oh, wow.
Just from the surrounding residual kind of stuff.
Right, that's going to be really hot in the summer.
So yeah, it's quite easy to keep it at a stable temperature because you're not dealing with the roof or like large amounts of windows or exterior walls or anything like that. It's pretty cool. I recommend it.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got a main topic as usual.
Yes. So what's our main topic today?
We're talking about buying cars in Japan. We've got some questions coming in from Foregone Conclusion. Hello, Foregone Conclusion. Or should we call them FC? Hello, FC. Do we want to get to those, or should we jump into our topic?
Yeah, let's do it, and then we'll talk about cars.
Okay. So a regular phone-in listener says, having fun arranging a Japanese will at the moment. I think you've got a blog post about the Japanese will.
I do, yeah. So I made a will a couple of years ago, and I have a somewhat detailed blog post with the costs and how it works and stuff. So if you're interested in that.
Anyway, they say local notary office is very helpful trying to write one for Japanese assets and already have one for UK assets. UK assets for the daughter, Japanese ones for the wife. Wow. There will be some crossover tax to pay on the UK house, but manageable. It sounds like a handful. Bedrooms on the ground floor with plenty of greenery in front. Oh, and that's a humidity question. Okay. Oh, so rather than a question, it's just a sort of observation, isn't it? We made one a will in the UK years and years ago. Still got it, but I don't know if it's still valid. I guess so. But we don't have one in Japan yet. If you are a non-Japanese,
if you're happy with the standard division, you don't need a will.
Oh, okay.
You only need a will if you want something different, basically, or if your affairs are very complicated.
Oh, okay, right. So it's not like the government will take everything. Yeah, there's.
Well, they would for me, because technically I don't have any relatives other than my wife.
Oh.
So
But everything would go to her then.
What's that?
Everything would go to her then, wouldn't it?
Unless we died at the same time.
Ah.
At which point it would all go to the Japanese state. So I'd rather that didn't happen. That's why I wrote a will, basically.
Oh, okay. Right.
But for
Okay.
most people, you know, like half would go to your spouse, half would go to your children, and so on. There's various different scenarios. But as long as you're happy with that, you don't really need a will in Japan.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. So thank you for that foregone conclusion.
The greenery thing, I mean, something that we're going to put up this week, I think, is just bamboo screens in front of the windows. So the sun hits the screen, not the window. Makes a huge difference.
That's a good idea. We've never tried that.
You know, the sudare, I think they're called in Japanese, where it's a lightweight bamboo screen. And the key is that, you know, if your curtains are inside your windows, the sun's still hitting the windows and heating them up. Whereas if the screen is outside the windows, it's hitting the screen, it's not hitting the windows themselves. So
that's a good idea.
Huge, especially when we get the morning sun. So, like, you know, from about 5 a.m.
Right.
If we didn't have the screens, it would be unbearable, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. We should try that. You can get like big ones to cover the top to the bottom, I guess, like over 2 meters.
Yeah. Just go to any home center, and there's loads, and they're really cheap as well. So
right. Yeah.
And we actually reuse them. So we've had ours for a few years now, and completely fine.
Oh, okay.
Just put them away for the winter, and we roll them up when there's going to be a typhoon or something, because I think the wind would probably trash them.
Yeah. Yes. That's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, sounds like it's something worth a try. They're cheap enough to give it a try.
Definitely.
Anyway, so on to our topic, which is buying cars in Japan, because someone close to me has just bought a car and I was enjoying the details of it. And you recently have car buying experience, I think. In my case, this person bought a second-hand, but was yours brand new one?
For this year, for the first time, it's the first time we've had new cars. We bought 2 new cars in the last year. And I kind of regret it slightly. It was a real hassle, and I didn't really enjoy the process. And I think it would have probably been better just to buy secondhand. We'd have saved a bit of money, and it would have been a lot less faff. Because at least with Toyota at the moment, they're having real kind of manufacturing issues. I'm not sure how much of that is actually a manufacturing issue and how much of it is that they can make much more money sending these cars abroad. You know, I mean, the price of a given car is probably 50% higher in the US than it is in Japan. So just send them all to the US, right? Like,
and then say it's
so if you walk into a Toyota dealer now, I don't even know if you're allowed to order any cars. So we go into our local place and it's all like order stop, order stop, order stop, order stop, which means you can't even order them. So that they haven't opened up orders even. I mean, there's a few models you can order, but not many.
Right.
And so, you know, when they open up orders, you can put an order in, and then it takes like 6 months to get the car. So plus, I don't know if we were unlucky or not, but both of the salespeople we ended up dealing with were really not up to scratch. Like, not particularly competent. They're pleasant enough, but just really making mistakes and dropping the ball and just making it more annoying than it needed to be. And I suspect it's because of the availability issues. So most of these guys are on commission, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But if they're not selling cars, they can't get good commissions, right?
Yeah.
So even if you want a specific car right now, you can't buy it. You're not allowed to order or buy it. And so the salesmen are just sitting there making no money. So I'm guessing all the good ones left. And the only ones that are kind of remaining are the ones that couldn't get better jobs elsewhere, perhaps.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. And it sounds like Toyota is just not focusing on its like home market as much as on external markets. Maybe
Doesn't feel like
Toyota, maybe all of them. So the incentive
I mean, the
is more
excuse
for
is
repairs.
that they're having supply chain problems, but I mean, come
Yeah.
on, it's been years.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Oh. Not even been able to order. Wow. And this is before the Iran war, wasn't it? So that's
yes,
not a factor.
exactly. So I'm really thinking the next time we, you know, if we need another car, I'll probably just get a secondhand one because you can at least, you know, get that in 2 weeks and actually look at the car that you're gonna take and stuff, and test drive it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
So yeah, what's the secondhand experience like? Because I haven't done that for a
pretty
while
good.
either.
Although the first things first, the price you see on the sticker is not the price you're going to pay. I mean, in a bad way.
Surprise!
Yeah. So
It's
if
like
you look on,
building a house.
yes. There are two main websites looking for trawling through secondhand cars. One is carsensor.net, and the other is called Goo, GOO, and they both seem pretty similar to me. Samurai Daniel, thank you, Mr. Cantonese. It's not mine, by the way. I wonder if it fits though. Maybe I should put that on. Anyway, the Car Sensor and Goo are the two main secondhand car websites that you can search through, like Auto Trader overseas, and they tend to show two prices on there. And one is like the core car price, and the other one with all the various bits added. But even then, I've got a feeling that it's not actually adding everything, because when we went to pay, there was then extra stuff. And some of it's compulsory. Like, I think you have to have the basic insurance, even though you then get your own, like, fuller insurance afterwards.
Please do get the full insurance.
Yeah.
I had an accident the other week, or rather someone hit our car and the guy couldn't remember if he had insurance. That was very stressful for both of us. So make sure you have unlimited cover for third parties if you drive, basically.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. Check the Retire Japan blog for the Ben's fun story about that. But anyway, yeah, in terms of actually buying the car, yeah. So in terms of other things, one thing we got added was the coating, and you've just like decided you're going to buy. We bought the house was 120 in the end, which is what's that in real numbers? 1,200,000? No, 1 million, 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Well, thank you. It's the zeros, and so you're spending that much money. And the actual, you know, another 40,000, and we can get glass coating, you know, and it'll look fantastic and protect it. And you think, oh, it's only a little bit extra, and so you do it. And then when you get home and you think realistically, you think, oh, you probably don't need that. Research it, and there's mixed opinions on the internet. So I phoned up and said, actually, I don't think we need that. Can we get rid of that, please? It was the same day, seeing if they hadn't actually done it yet. And he said, okay, let me just make some calls and get back to you. And then he came back and said, what about we do it for half price, 20,000? And the discount nerd in me, which we'll talk about later, thought, wow, half price, brilliant, okay, then let's do it. Oh, and I regret it. The actual car was done, so it turns out if you get glass coating done, it can be done really well, or it can be done not so well. And clearly a company that's willing to drop it to half price immediately is not one of the high-end ones. And if it's left outside after the coating, it takes 24 hours or something to set. If there's any sort of mist or rain or something, then it will sort of make
it stains
dimples
it, right?
Yes. And so you get this, they call it fish scale kind of effect. And our car got that. And when we picked it up, we said, oh, you know, it's even on the windscreen. He's like, oh, you know, is this going to go away? And he says, no, I don't think that'll go away. So basically, we paid to have our car. It's not really visible unless you actually, if you're driving at night and the light's coming to the windscreen, then you can sort of see, you know, sort of, I don't know, a dotted kind of effect on a windscreen. But it's still really frustrating that you paid for something that was unnecessary. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how much we paid for coating from a specialist.
Oh, I hate to think.
They take the car to pieces to coat.
Oh,
each.
Really? Oh.
Because what happened with our last car is it rusted out the bottom.
Oh.
So we wanted to make sure that didn't happen to these ones. And basically this guy, I mean, he wanted to tell me about coating, and I didn't want him to tell me any more about coating. Like, we'd been there for like 45 minutes and he was still going about, you know, what exact thing he was putting on each. And when he was doing it, he had me online, and he sent me, hundreds of photos and videos of him working on the car and taking it,
Wow.
like literally
That's
disassembling it.
that's a good
Madness.
thing. It sounds like you got the proper one.
Yeah, but I don't think we need it.
Right.
You know, all the other cars that in the workshop are like proper expensive.
I see.
So like this is obviously something that people feel it's worth paying for, but I'm not sure we needed to.
Yeah, I would never get it again. Pay for a really nice car wash instead or something, the wax coating.
Right.
Anyway, so in the end, the car's brilliant. We love it. I think it came with a 1-month guarantee, and because it was not a official dealer, it's somebody. We bought a Mini, and it's so this garage that like deals with Minis, but they're not an official Mini dealer kind of thing. And they have a
Okay.
good reputation. They've been featured in a Mini magazine. So in the end, it was all pretty good. And yeah, we still got the car. I absolutely love it. And so the buying experience that I walked a friend through recently was going through a Toyota Ninte dealer, or what do you call it? The official second-hand dealer,
Yeah.
approved, I think it is. And that seemed really good. And they got Hoken, they're not Hoken, what's it? Guarantee, a 1-year guarantee, which is much better than the 1 month I got. And so if it's 1 year, you would think that they're going to set things up properly so that things don't go wrong the first year at least. And it wasn't really much more expensive than another non-approved dealer. So that's a really good option to look into. They said that Toyota dealers apparently are known for having really good prices for their approved dealership because they just want to get you in the kind of Toyota family. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But anyway, they've got a
So
good deal.
yeah, my wife's friend used to work for Toyota. He just retired like last month. But he said they all get staff cars for like a year or two, and they drive them, and then those cars go into the secondhand market deliberately. So they're like deliberately making them not new so they can sell them secondhand. I'm not entirely sure what the benefit to Toyota is for that, but it sounds like that, isn't it? So
yeah. Okay, interesting.
and so all the authorized dealers have got really mint cars that haven't been abused, apparently.
Yes. We looked at the Mini approved used cars, but they were like maximum 3 years old, I think. They have quite a short cutoff date before they won't even touch them. And we got an older one. Anyway, so yeah, I think buying used in Japan is fine. It's interesting though, isn't it? Japan, you can't really get, like in UK, we used to have a thing called the Exchange and Mart, which is full of personal classifieds of some bloke down the street selling a car or whatever. And I bought a couple of cars like that from, just go around to somebody's house, have a look at it, yeah, I like it, and you pay it and you buy it. That doesn't seem to exist here. It's only through either official dealers or non-official dealers.
I think you can, but it's more, you go on Facebook or something and find someone, or like
Okay.
I bought my favorite car ever. I had a Skyline GTS, and I bought it off a guy that was leaving for like 150,000 yen. It's like the best car ever.
Wow.
It had been someone had like the previous owner had raced it, so it was all tricked out.
Wow, that must have been fun to drive.
It was, and then it got washed away in the tsunami. So.
Oh,
Goodbye, Skyline.
Oh dear, I wonder how many more are now under the sea. Okay, so maybe you can do that, but you'd still, I suppose, it's more of a hassle because you have to do all the paperwork yourself, whereas the dealer is going to do all that stuff for you.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't want to sell someone a car because if something happened, then I'd feel liable, even if I wasn't legally liable. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like our old car, we sold it to the dealer for like nothing. And we thought about giving it to someone, but
yeah,
I didn't like the liability aspect of giving someone a car that then, had issues or something.
Okay. Yeah. Very noble of you.
Maybe I'm just a bit paranoid.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the choices you got, I think, for really buying a car. But then it comes to paying for it. And traditionally, and my son makes fun of me for this, I don't like getting a loan. And so I've always focused on buying a second-hand car, pretty old, pretty cheap, that I can pay for with cash. And I said the other day, why don't you buy a new car one day? I'm like, what? No, take a loan, cost a fortune. No, miserly, no, I'm going to get a second-hand old car, save money. So I'm not really experienced with the financing myself, but say this person that just helped buy a car recently was going through the financing route, and it was interesting to see the options that are available. So he went through the approved dealer, and first of all, they offer you financing, which in this case was about 6% a year, which is pretty high. But
I can see why they offer you that.
Right, yes. So on one hand, you're paying for convenience. It's easy, whilst you're in the office here, don't need to go anywhere to sign the paperwork, and it's all good. The other thing is that I think
6%.
Yeah.
Thieving bastards.
Yeah, you say that to somebody in the UK or the US, it's not bad. It does go down. But yeah, the good thing is that they will give a loan to pretty much anybody. They're much more flexible. But apparently not just anybody, because the way my friend got this car is there was a queue for it, apparently, and the person before him wasn't able to get the loan from the dealer. So I don't know how bad their credit rating was, but yeah, so he got second choice and it was all good. So anyway, if you want to save a bit of money, don't go with, or at least you don't have to decide on the spot. You can say to the dealer, I'm going to check with the banks first of all, I'll let you know. And consequently, that's what we did. We actually went with Claude and ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever would be fine. If you do the research option, sort of click and select research, it will do really thorough, maybe 10, 20 minutes of researching. And it found some really good stuff. You can get around 3% from a regular bank in Japan, but it's a little bit stricter. In this case, you have to have at least a year of employment, a regular salary coming in. But then we found local banks. So the conditions are even more strict because you have to live in the area where this local bank operates. But if you do, then you get their special campaign, just happens to be a campaign, car loan, My Car Loan, it's called, 1.9% fixed for up to 10 years, I think it was.
That's not bad.
I think once you've been approved,
better than some mortgages.
Yeah, it was a brilliant deal, and they got accepted for that, so it all worked out really well. And I think once you got accepted, then the actual amount you borrow doesn't really matter to them. It's as long as it's up to, they'll have a range of like Juman up to, is it Hyakuman or Nihyakuman or something like that. So as long as it's within that range, you can borrow as much as you want once you've been approved by them. So that's what they did, and then you can choose how much to pay back. In this case, one of the disadvantages is you're not allowed to pay it off early, or you can pay it off early, but there's a surcharge of 5,000 yen or something.
Whatever the interest would have been, presumably, yeah.
Yes, when you calculate it, it works out a bit more than the interest, so you might as well just pay the regular payments. So yeah, there's don't jump to the deal that the dealers will offer you for financing, because that's probably not the best one. So try the banks first, and then if you can't get one from the bank, then one from the dealer, or think about getting a cheaper older car. What's the case with buying new?
We just paid cash.
Right.
Because I don't like that either. Actually, I got a loan to buy my motorbike back in the day. And I think it was like a 3-year loan or something, and I paid it off over 3, and I hated it. I hated it every single month. I hated paying the loan payment. And that means I don't really want to get a loan anymore, other than my mortgage, which just makes sense because it's such a low interest rate.
Right. Yeah.
For the cars, we just thought, we'll just pay cash. It's fine.
Yeah. So those are some of the sort of mainstream options, but there is another option. There's leasing in Japan, which I think my sister does leasing in the UK, and I figure it's the same here, where you pay a monthly fee, and it's kind of like renting it, but you get it to use it long term, and then after 2 or 3 years, you switch it for another one, just like constantly like renting a car, basically. But there is another clever.
I've looked into it. And it seems to make a lot of sense if you are a business owner or something, because you can put the lease as a business expense, and so that is pretty nice, I think. Obviously, you'd have to clear it with the accountants and stuff, but as a personal thing, it seemed a bit expensive and inflexible, at least the ones I saw.
Right.
Although they do cover everything. So like they cover the shaken and the wheels
Oh, really?
and maintenance and stuff. So all you have to
Mhm.
do is pay your incidentals.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's expensive.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good comment actually about sorry, from Mr. Cantonese. Hello there. Getting 2 cars cheap from Japanese friends returning to Japan from the UK. Maybe that was in the UK, but similarly, yeah, if you're in Japan, every year there's usually English teachers returning to their home country, so it's a good opportunity to look out for something. Probably going to be a little old K car, but if you stay in that
It's
sort of
generally a
community.
win-win, isn't it? Because you pay more than the dealer would for it, and less than you'd pay the dealer, kind of thing. So you cut out the
Yes.
middleman.
Yeah. So there's one more, isn't there? I don't know if this is unique to Japan, but you can buy, and the thing, people talk about Alphard for this, the Alphard, the big, like kind of Yankee car.
What, those things? Oh,
Probably.
terrible, terrible. So tacky.
Probably, probably other cars as well, but for some reason, Alphard is the thing that's got its name attached to this thing called Zankure, and I guess it's like Zan something credit, I think. So you can
Zandaka, yeah. So
yeah,
it's so you take out a loan for the depreciation only.
right. Over 3 years, Alphards are epic, says Crunchy 2024. Never ridden one, but okay. So you can get
I have
Alphards
to come
in
and see
different
you.
variations. Some of them, I think, it's the executive lounge version where it's got just 2 seats in the back, and they're like business class, big, like luxury massage seat things. Must be really cool. Anyway,
Yeah, we don't have that one.
hang on, what you got Alphard? You didn't get an Alphard, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Oh, I didn't know that.
So we got the 8-seater version, which I really regret now.
Oh,
Because we thought, we got to drive my wife's parents around, and we got like 4 grandkids now, so we have these potentially large groups to ferry around the place. The problem with the 8-seater,
yeah.
is that it's really hard to get into the 3rd row. You have to
Oh,
move the seats and put them down, and that lets you get into 3rd row. Whereas if you get the 7-seater, the 2nd row is 2 seats, and there's an aisle between them. So you can easily access the 3rd row. So yeah, if I could go back in time, I would definitely get the 7-seater instead of the 8-seater.
okay. There you go. Another good tip for you folks. Another good tip from Crunch24: get the 3.5 liter Alphard, because that does 0 to 100 kilometers, I think, in 7 seconds. The same engine is used in Lotus sports cars. Wow. I've
I
never
have to
raced
be
one at the light,
careful,
but it's a bit powerful, isn't it?
because it's fun. Like it's really grown on me. I didn't want to get it. Like my wife wanted to get it. I don't
Yeah.
like these big wagon things,
Yeah, I
but
remember you
it's
saying.
so nice for long distance driving. It's so comfortable. It's so quick. It's just
Right.
the only problem is it's quite big, so you have to be
Yeah.
careful when parking and stuff. But it's covered in sensors now. The new ones have like cameras and sensors everywhere, so it's actually quite difficult to hit things.
Oh, yeah. Very easy for people to hit you.
But I have to be
Anyway,
careful because I've got my naturalization thing going. So if I get any kind of speeding ticket or something, that could put it in jeopardy.
Yeah, that's true. Negative.
So some lawyers actually recommend that you don't drive while your application is in process, just to avoid any chance of getting a ticket or having an accident or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Good idea. Well, if you can, move somewhere in the middle of a city for that period of time, don't drive, and then go back to your normal life afterwards. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you want an Alphard super cheap, something that I don't think we would really recommend is this thing called Zankure. So yeah, as you said, the dealer will give you the value of it in, say, 3 years' time, and then there's the cost of it right now, and then you only pay that difference. So let's say the cost now is 10 man yen. What's that? 10,000 yen. What's that going to be? 10 million yen. And they'll say, well, the value in 3 years will be about 8 million yen. So therefore, that gap is only 2 million. All you have to do is pay the 2 million now. But don't worry, we'll give you that to you as a loan. So just pay those monthly payments over the next 3 years. So basically, you're paying 2 million in little monthly payments over 2 years to get a big fancy Alphard. But the problem comes at the end of those 3 years when they say, okay, we said it was going to be worth 8 million, but you've been driving it, you put miles on it, and therefore it doesn't look in the pristine condition that we hoped. And oh, somebody's had a pet in there, somebody's been smoking in there, somebody's like
It's
grazed
got
the side.
scratches.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Have you had children in here as well? Oh dear me. Yeah. I saw a statistic that 90% of these cases, the car is not worth what the value was estimated to be.
Wow.
Whatever they say, the wear and tear, basically. So then and that is due as a lump sum, apparently. So it's like, okay, here, you pay 3 million yen now, please, sir. And then you go to Acom or Promise and get this dodgy loan. Yeah.
And
so,
the dealer's not liable for that. It just seems insane, right? Because presumably the people that took on these loans were not completely aware of how badly wrong it could go.
Right. Yes, I don't think so. Yeah, lack of education, I think. And all that time as well, the car's not actually in your name. It's still in the dealer's name, I think.
Oh,
so
okay.
You are not free to customize it with a big spoiler, if you want to. So yeah, probably the last resort, that one. And Ben, you found a rather good video about it.
There's a very good YouTube video.
Yeah, I'll put it here.
About this, which is really good. It's quite catchy. Like I used to play it as a tune, as opposed to yeah.
It's very good for Japanese practice. You might need to pause it, but yeah.
Stick the subtitles on. Yeah.
So yeah, if you want a car, a few ways. I think other costs that you should be aware of. You need to. So K cars in Japan don't need a car parking space. You should probably have one, but you don't need to prove that you have one. But if it's not a K car, you do need to prove you have a car parking space. If one is not already on your property, you will need to rent one, which in a city, in Yokohama, it's up to about 30,000 yen a month. I guess maybe even more in Tokyo.
Ouch, ouch.
And so you need to rent that, and then you actually draw a picture of where it is, little map, and take it to the police. They will come and physically look at it, and then give you a certificate saying, "Yeah, we agree you've got a car parking space. You're now allowed to buy a car." So bear in mind that's an extra cost, and there's obviously insurance as well. But the other day, so a 23-year-old looking for insurance for a little sports car worked out at 20. Niju man yen a month. What's that? 200,000 yen a month, which
a year
is
right?
high. Oh, a year. Beg your pardon. Sorry, a year. Yes.
Yeah, a month would be insane.
Sorry, 200,000 yen a year. Beg your pardon. Yes, which is a lot. But then I hear my family back in the UK got a young person in the family, and it's thousands. That works out at under £1,000 if you convert it, and it's multiple times more back in the UK, maybe in the US as well. So factor it in, but it's probably not as bad as maybe your home country.
Possibly. And then, you build up your, no claim bonus and stuff. So
yeah,
ideally, if you're young, you'd be buying some slow, old, knackered K car, and then you build up your little tax-free thing, your no claims bonus, and then later on, when it's decent, you can then go buy the sports car. Jumping straight to the sports car is a bit of a flex.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. If you're young, it's a good time to make mistakes rather than when you're older, or at least have fun whilst you're young. Is there anything else to say about buying a car in Japan? I think that's about it, isn't it? The shaken is, so in the UK it's called MOT. I'm not sure what it's called in the US, but it's the compulsory sort of maintenance check emissions and brakes and all things like that. It doesn't need to be done for the first 3 years, and then after that it's every 2 years. But it's always surprisingly expensive. It always seems to come out at least about 70,000 yen for us, which really surprised me at first. But then it's like, okay, that's what it is. Half of that, I think, is just sort of standard fees rather than the garage actually, overcharging.
Oh yeah, it's the tax. Most of it's the tax, isn't it? So.
Right. Yeah. So that's just what you have to do. Tough. But I've heard more and more there is the self shaken thing, where you do the maintenance yourself and you actually drive it to the testing center yourself rather than going through a garage, and you can save quite a bit of money. I think maybe nearly half the price in the end. I've got
Yeah,
a
because
friend
you're
who
just paying
did
the
it.
tax basically,
Right.
if you
Yes.
pass.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really used to be really unusual, but I saw a YouTube video where they are set up for that now. It's not the weird thing it used to be. So okay, you've done it yourself. Yep, no problem. So if you're confident enough with your DIY skills, then it's worth looking into.
Yeah, I know quite a few people that do that. Like, it takes time, it's a hassle, but yeah,
Mm.
you can save a lot of money. So
Yeah. Cool.
and one thing, you can actually go to a garage and get them to make it shaken friendly and then take it yourself.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
cheaper too.
Right. Well, that's a good idea. Okay.
You just go and say, well, can you just fix any issues so I can get my shaken? But you take it along, and therefore you save on the fees, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's a good one. Sort of hybrid version. So thank you very much for comments here. Crunchy 2024, clearly an Alphard fan. So yeah, thank you for the comments about Alphard. I know more about them now than I did before. And a couple of other comments. Elemental Fitness Lab got a good deal on a Delica. Oh yeah, those sort of like what are they called now?
I like Delicas. I like the old style of Delica better, but yeah, Delicas are pretty cool.
They do those like sort of chunky 4x4 like sort of off-road people carry things.
Yeah, but they used to look like kind of moon buggies.
Oh right, yes,
like the old styling, and now they're kind of a bit more kind of boxy.
Yeah, okay. Matt Black 1990 has a good one. Apparently some cities require a parking certificate even for K cars. Didn't know that, so thank you. So if you're buying a car, even if it's a K, then double check what you need.
Well, the dealer will tell you, like,
yeah, that's true,
because they can't sell you the car without the certificate. So
yes, yeah. Crunchy 2024 again says, Shaken check is a joke. They give you a maintenance sheet. You just lie about measuring the brake pads. Okay, we don't encourage anybody to lie about the Shaken. Speak to Crunchy 2024 about that. Good. Thank you for the comments. It's good to have a sort of like extra education. Thank you. So we move on then.
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, buying a car in Japan. Personally, having just bought new ones, I'd probably just go secondhand next time.
I do think,
but we'll drive the new ones as long as we can, I think.
Right. I have found the condition of secondhand cars, it's been exceptional in the ones that we bought. So sometimes it's hard to see the difference.
I think you're less precious about them as well. Like if you buy a new car, it's so like, oh, it's new, I don't want to scratch it, or Whereas if you get this old one, it's like, okay, fine, it's already been scratched, it's all good.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that better. Like I quite like driving one of those boxy K cars. They're kind of with big headroom and stuff.
Yeah, the ceiling is like this high. It feels really spacious.
Big windows, right? The visibility is amazing on those K cars. So
and they go pretty fast, don't they? Right. So if we're wrapping that up, I do want to go back to we mentioned wills right at the beginning, because foregone conclusion had a quick question about that. So he asks, what if you have a UK asset or an asset in a country outside Japan, and you want that asset to go to your daughter, and you're living in Japan, would you require a specific Japanese will explicitly stating that?
So I believe, obviously your family is free to decide how they want to divide things up anyway, by mutual agreement. But yeah, if you wanted to ensure that, you'd probably need a will. And then the main thing is to make sure that any foreign wills say exactly the same thing as any Japanese wills. You don't want the wills contradicting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably case by case. So it depends what exactly it is, and what other family members are in play and all that kind of thing.
Good. Thank you for the question. Right, let's move on. Next on the list is a money quote, just to sort of get us in the mood. And I found this just recently. The Economist has this quiz every day and at the bottom of it they put a little quote, random quote, which
Oh.
is quite interesting. This one apparently is from Harry S. Truman, former US president, who said, "There is some risk involved in action. There always is, but there is far more risk in failure to act." There we go. I don't have much more to say about that, but it sounded very wise to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that generally, so far, I think trying things is better than not getting around to doing things.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of regrets and stuff. Trying something and it not working is fine, but never trying it is kind of like you're kind of setting yourself up for lots of what ifs, I think.
Yes, it made me think of investing immediately. Like, oh, which funds should I get? Should I get bonds? Should I buy this share or that? Which broker should I open an account with? Yeah, just doing something is better than failing to act.
Yeah.
Right, we have news. Oh, I added one actually since we chatted, so I'll get to that in a sec. First of all, speaking of which fund to buy, the one that you like is the Emaxis Slim series, because they are passive funds with very, very small fees, I think. Is that right?
Yep, and they're also quite big and well established.
Right, yeah, which helps the fees to be low. Well, SBI is trying to release a copycat. State Street, which I think is the US investment company. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got ETFs, I think, in the US. They do low-cost ETFs.
Right, that's it. So they've joined with SBI to offer similar low-cost funds in Japan. And basically, it's going to be SBI's competitor to the Emaxis Slim series. I don't think they're released yet. The link I have was behind a paywall. I'll stick it in the comments anyway. So yeah, but there's not much you can take action on at the moment, other than just be aware that it won't be Emaxis Slim the only horse in town.
Well, I mean, it's not now. Most brokers have similar funds. The thing to watch out for, though, because Rakuten has a range of low-cost funds too, but what they do is they take US ETFs and they wrap them up in Japanese mutual funds, and that's what they're selling. Whereas the Emaxis Slim series, they're actually owned by Mitsubishi UFJ. And so there's one less layer of stuff in there, basically.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if these SBI ones are actually just State Street ETFs wrapped in mutual funds.
Yeah. And if I imagine that, like, the sort of reputation that Emaxis Slim has now, hugely popular, it's going to be hard to sort of make a dent into, I think.
No, yeah, not without like lowering the, and how much further can you lower the fees when they're 0.05% now? So
yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice to see them try. Like, it's always good to have fees coming down. So
yeah, and competition is good. The next one is an interesting one. So this is a sort of like a bit of, we've talked about home security and here in the past. It's kind of related to that. The headline I'll read: Japanese criminals are now using crabs to hunt for burglary targets.
So they have to train the crabs.
Right, ninja crabs. Oh, and I'm thinking, is this like the animal crab? Yes, it's the animal crabs that you find at the sea. And so let me try and get this right. So they will get crabs, and apparently the stag beetles as well, the kabutomushi. And at night, they will put it on different people's doorsteps overnight, and then keep a record of both where they put it and also what that doorstep looked like. Okay, they'll probably take a photo or something. So they've got a bunch of crabs at these people's houses, and then in the morning, you would expect people would open the door, and if the crab is still there, maybe it's in a bucket, I don't know, they would think, wow, that's weird, there's a crab on my doorstep. And what's the first thing you do in 2026? Of course, you go to social media. You take a photo of it and share it on social media, which is exactly what these criminals want. So you then share a picture, like, wow, I saw this crab this morning. Blah, blah. The criminals know which crab, or the photo of the different front door porches where they put the crabs. And so they see what you I think they have an alert set up for grab, surprise, or something like that. And then when they spot somebody that's posted it on social media, they now are able to link where you live, because they know where they left the crabs, with your social media account. That's the first stage. The second stage is then following your social media account and looking for when you say, I can't wait to go to Spain for a week on Thursday. And they think, aha, you're going to be away in a different country for a week from Thursday. So they know to target you, basically. So the answer is,
that's very sneaky, but also seems like a huge amount of work for, like, I'm not seeing a great payoff unless you can automate this somehow.
yeah, or they just go to really rich people's houses with the crabs. I don't know.
That's probably part of it, isn't it? Targeting specific neighborhoods.
So.
But even so, like, talking to my students, Japanese high school and so on, most of them never post on social media. They just consume it. So I'm not even seeing this, I mean, we're assuming everyone's on Twitter or something, like.
Yeah, I'm sure, they'll just get, they won't get everybody doing it, but if they just get one or two, maybe that's enough for them.
I'm guessing that they're only doing this for very nice houses.
You would think so, yeah. And one where it
but
might
very
look
nice
like
houses would also have decent security, so swings and
Who knows?
roundabouts.
We're not criminal masterminds, so we don't know how they presumably things other than crabs as well. Yeah, who knows? So anyway, I think the moral or the lesson from the story is, one, you share things on social media, but I think the biggest thing is, if you do go away and you want to post about it, then post after you came back. I just had a great week's holiday in Spain or something. I think that's a easy thing to do.
Yeah, although normally you'll be posting while you're there, won't you?
I say take photos and then post them when you come back. So I'd say.
Or take photos of your non-existent large aggressive dog and post those on social media as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's my new dog, Chucky, right? Like,
that's a good one.
whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't actually have a dog, but if you put it on social media, then maybe it works.
Or also like, oh, I can't believe how expensive it is to get pet insurance for a 30-kilogram killer dog or something.
Exactly. Dobermans are like 60 kilos though. So
really? Blimey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pure muscle as well. So like,
right, yeah. The next story we have is something a bit more positive, and it is going back to last month. The real estate summit took place in Tokyo, and a special celebrity there this time, I think, wasn't there, Ben?
I didn't see one.
Oh, right. But we have mentioned this, and we were mentioning it again, yes, because now the videos are up, so you can go and see that special celebrity, aka Ben. They're ever so good. They post all the sessions.
I had a lot of fun. It was really good.
It was, yeah.
Met some very nice people. The talks were great, like really knowledgeable and helpful. Yeah, so if you're into real estate, I think the next one's in autumn. So yeah, I'd recommend it. I might even go to the next one as well. I had that much fun. I would actually make another trek to Tokyo, which I don't enjoy doing most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have your foot as well was still recovering.
Yeah. I was hobbling around, wondering if someone was going to step on it. Like, no, it was great. It was a great day. I had to do it by the day though, so I had to go down in the morning and then go home in the evening. So it was a little bit rushed.
Yeah. Other news. Oh, this is one from you. You like this, don't you? Sanseito punishes 10 members. Well, 4, Ben. I think you know more about this than me.
So yeah, this was delicious. I saw this news story. I was like, yes, thank you. So the party that goes around shouting about foreigners not following Japanese laws or contributing properly are not following Japanese laws or contributing properly. The irony is thick with this one. So basically, there's a thing you can do. So if you pay national health insurance, like I do, it's really expensive. It's way more expensive than the Shakai Hoken version, right? The company version. So like this year, for some reason, my wife and I, our little household of two, is paying 900,000 yen in national health insurance. It was 600,000 last year, so I have no idea what happened. I'm actually going to go into the ward office and be like, hey, can you walk me through these numbers? Because it doesn't make any sense at all. But anyway, so it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
But there's a little hack you can do, which is if you are employed and you're paying Kosei Nenkin through your employer, I don't think they take your other income into account for that. So if you have a job with a low salary, you'll pay very low health insurance for that job. And then you can do other work on the side, and that income is not necessarily going to affect your insurance premiums. Now, the problem is when you have a fake job solely for the purpose of paying low insurance premiums, which is what apparently some of the honorable members of the Sanseito party were doing. Not members, but actually representatives, so politicians. And one of them was selling this to the others.
Hey,
so their little side hustle was selling illegal fake jobs to get out of paying health insurance. So delicious.
Exactly,
I mean,
what they've been complaining about.
Perfect.
Wow.
So yeah, the next time they're shouting about that in public, we could maybe remind them about, you know, taking the beam from your own eye before complaining about the speck in your neighbors or whatever.
Oh wow, not heard that before. That's fancy.
It's a biblical thing.
Oh
yes, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Yeah. So that was a delicious thing that made my week, basically.
Yeah. And not just one or two, 10 of them apparently. Wow.
Oh, there's definitely more. I mean, that is, you know, the party of grifting. Have you seen their goods page? It's mad. Like they've got, you know, they're selling DVDs and all sorts of stuff. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I won't.
It's a business. I'm pretty sure the main guy, he's not actually a politician. He hasn't got any kind of principles. He's just making a lot of money out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good one. Talking about punishments. There are new punishments that we talked about before for cycling. There's a blue ticket traffic fine system for various cycling laws. I think some of them are already there and some of them are new, like you can't listen to music on your headphones while you're cycling and stuff like that.
They were all existing.
They were all existing, were they?
They were all existing offences. The only difference is it's easier now to give a ticket for them.
Okay. I'll put a link to the article. Okay. Oh, right. My mistake then. Anyway, so yeah, so many more people, I think, are being given these fines. Watch out for scams, by the way. People dressed up as police officers always ask for the badge.
Anyway, yeah. So what the main thing on that is that police officers will never take money from you.
They will give you the ticket.
So if you get a fine from a police officer, you get a little payment slip, and you have to go and pay it at the post office or the konbini or the police station or whatever. You never give money to the person. So if they're asking you for cash, that's a bit of a red flag.
Right. Good one. Anyway, so this particular article, I don't like this because the headline is "Frustrations Grow Over Japan's New Bicycle Blue Ticket Traffic Fine System." But if you actually read the article, they did a survey and 62 people think that the blue ticket system and the fines are appropriate.
62%, right?
Yeah, 60%. Sorry, yes. So frustrations grow maybe, but still most people think it's actually okay. I think it does vary by age range, but still in general, people are generally pretty supportive of this. I'm sure there's still lots of people getting away with it and not stopping at traffic at stop signs like I saw just the other day. So
I think it's great. I think it's great. been a long time coming. Now the issue is that they're not going to enforce it. Obviously, you know, they'll do their like traffic safety week in spring and then another one in the autumn, and that's it. Whereas I think you need to be a bit more consistent to change people's behavior.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, maybe focus on the really dangerous stuff like running traffic lights and stuff like that. And then, you know, let's crack down on that.
Yeah. There's so many times
or like
dangerous
riding on pavements.
Yeah, because
even if you, what's that?
You're not supposed to ride on the pavement, are you? Unless it's
so in principle, and this has always been true, in principle, bicycles are a light vehicle and they should be on the road. However, for children and elderly people are exempt from that.
Okay.
Immediately. And also, if you feel the road is dangerous at that particular point, you're allowed to use the pavement. But you are supposed to ride slowly and give way to pedestrians, which is the issue that people don't.
Oh.
You know, if you're bombing down the pavement, that's illegal, you know, regardless of whether you thought the road, and the thing is, as a cyclist, I find it much safer to ride on the road because vehicles are more predictable than pedestrians.
Oh, that's true.
And also vehicles pulling out of parking lots are a complete menace.
Oh.
Like the number of times, you know, you might be cycling on the pavement and then someone decides to, you know, I'm going to pull out onto the road now. They're going to hit you or get in your way. Whereas if you were on the road, they're paying attention to road traffic. So personally, I never cycle on the pavement. I think it's much more dangerous, actually.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I cycle on the road, except when I see an Alphard coming, and then I'll get onto the pavement to be safe. Right. So anyway, I thought that was another example as well of like looking beyond the headline. The headline, frustrations grow, but it turns out that most people are not frustrated.
I saw a headline today from The Spectator. I was on LinkedIn. Someone was complaining about it. I know The Spectator put it on LinkedIn. It's basically, Japan is not as safe as I thought it was. And then you read the article, and the author lost their wallet in Tokyo, and it was returned, and then they lost it again, and it wasn't returned, and therefore, you know, oh my God, standards are slipping in Japan.
Oh dear. Somebody had a deadline and needed to write something.
Yeah.
Right. Next bit of news. I just added this actually. This came out because the consumption tax on food, it was a big political discussion point, and a few of the parties campaigned, maybe even all of them actually, campaigned on reducing consumption tax on food to zero, I think for at least 1 or 2 years.
Temporarily, yeah.
Right. It turns out that the problem, why hasn't it happened yet? The problem is it's with the cash registers in the shops that cannot be adjusted to have 0% tax. They're not built that way. They're designed to have tax of some sort, not zero. And to reprogram them or to redevelop them would take at least a year. I think the government actually had discussions with the top cash register makers, and the end result was, well, it can't be done quickly. So now it's more likely that there will be a 1% consumption tax instead of 0, which then could be done in a matter of months. So if you were wondering what happened to the election promises, I'd love to, like, you know, say it's the politicians' fault, but there does seem like a least feasible reason why it's delayed.
I seem to remember the election promise was to consider reducing consumption tax on food. I'm sure they've considered it and decided not to do it. I quite like the UK approach to this, which is not to have VAT on, you know, fresh food, kids' clothes, books, things like that. I think that's great. And then, you know, tax everything else that's kind of discretionary spending.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the with the cost of living, I think giving people a break on, like, food would be nice in Japan as well.
I think even down to 1% is,
you know, tax the Alphards, but, you know, don't tax, you know, rice and vegetables and stuff.
Yeah. Right, a couple of things that you wanted to mention. One is fuel surcharges on domestic flights.
Yeah, apparently they're gonna be coming in, which is a first because we've always had fuel. Well, in recent years, we've had fuel surcharges on international flights because the airlines, were having trouble predicting fuel prices and so on. But it looks like we're going to have them on domestic flights as well. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Thanks, America.
Yeah. Speaking of flights, actually, quick thing. I booked a flight the other day using miles. So I think you actually written a book about it, but I like getting points and miles and focusing on one thing. And so I focused it on JAL, and I like their J class, which used to be like 1,000
very
yen
nice.
extra. It's gone a bit high now, but yeah, it's really nice. And anyway, looking at using the JAL miles, and depending on the flight during the day, so you've got all these flights at different times of the day. Some of them, the miles for J class were less than the miles for the basic seat, because I guess they didn't have as many left or something. It was really surprising. So top tip, if you're looking at using your miles, don't jump straight to the cheapest one. Look at J class, because it could be even cheaper.
And much nicer.
It is really good, yeah. And then finally in the news, we got a 870 million yen scam.
Yeah.
What's all that?
This was in the news last week, I think. So someone, 80-year-old man, I think in Hyogo or somewhere, got scammed out of 870 million yen, which is impressive. Like it's quite hard to give that amount of money to a scammer because there's a few things in place to try and prevent it. But he managed to. And apparently it was a fairly sophisticated investment type scam. So someone probably, I think on social media, God, don't go on social media to get like investment stuff. So he downloaded an app and sent money to the people that ran the app, and the app showed growth. Right? So the app showed that his money was growing. And so he put more money in, and the app showed that grew as well. And this is all complete rubbish, right? It was fake.
Well, it was all over time. It wasn't to steal your money. It's gradual. Okay.
And so he ended up giving them 870 million yen, which my first question is, how much does he have left? We don't know how much money he had. Was this all his money, or was this a tiny fraction of his money? But either way, just be careful out there, because the scams are getting more and more sophisticated, basically.
Wow. And if you do something like that, you're unsure, like take a little bit of money out before you put more in.
That doesn't. Oh, yeah, because they'll let you do that.
I see.
They know about that.
Okay.
So my wife's actually had this. So she's had a couple of people kind of cozy up to her on social media, making comments, oh, that's a lovely flower or whatever, she'd post a photo of a flower or something over time, and then trying to get into some kind of gold scam, which I thought was hilarious. But it was so effective that I was telling her, this is obviously a scam. Can you just block this person? And she didn't quite believe me. So she actually ended up calling the police. And the police were like, come on, it's obviously a scam. Just listen to your husband.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's I can see how it happens. But, yeah, we just have to be really, really careful. And perhaps the other thing is to make sure that, if you're getting older, that you have some kind of system in place so that people can help you make decisions if you're getting, less reliable at making decisions.
Yeah.
And we had an article about adult guardianship recently. So.
Oh. Yeah. Was that a blog post or an article?
I think it was a blog post.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, there we go. I found it. Adult guardianship in Japan. I'll put a link to this.
Yeah. So there's various systems you can set up even before you need them, so that you're not legally liable for decisions you make, or they can be overridden by a a guardian, someone trusted that you've put in place, basically.
Right. So do it while you're still fully able to understand the system. Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Very good. But that's the end of our news section. I thought that was pretty good, pretty interesting. And we got loads of comments whilst we were
Let's do some
chatting.
questions, yeah.
So we go back and have a look. Now, what did we have? When we talked about the crabs thing, cardboard sushi, that's a good name. Hello. A similar tactic to putting something surprising at the front of your door is throwing empty bottles by the front door. Not to see if you take a photo of social media, but to see if the bottle is still there after a few days, then it's possibly an akia, nobody living there. And so they can go in and strip it for copper. I guess maybe not just copper, but yeah, they know that they can basically help themselves to their house and nobody's going to bother them.
Yeah.
Matt back in 1990, if my missus found a crab on the doorstep, it would end up in a pot pretty quickly. There you go. He's safe from that scam.
Nice.
Right. 123 Schlep. Hello there. Hello, RetireJapan TV. Would you have any opinions about portfolio construction and withdrawal strategies for those in the retirement wealth preservation stage? So end of working life.
Not without talking to you.
Right.
So ideally, this is going to be a portfolio that you've built up over time, so you're familiar with it. And then, yeah, you'd do some reading or you'd talk to someone and figure out if you want to make any changes. Personally, I'm not planning to, because our portfolio is large enough that I think it's going to be fine regardless of what happens. So we can just leave it as it is and it'll keep growing over time. And if there's a market crash or something, it's not really going to affect us very much.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be different for different people. So it's important to take your personal situation into account. There's lots of articles about it. And you can definitely talk to a financial planner or someone that can work through that with you. But I don't think it's very useful to give kind of cookie cutter advice about it, because it's so different, you know.
Yeah. One resource I like to look at is this website here called portfoliocharts.com, where this person has basically sort of explained different famous portfolios out there, or people trying out different portfolio allocations. And I like to nerd out a bit and look at it. The one I initially really liked was the Ray Dalio, I think it was, the All Seasons portfolio, where he's done various back testing. And the theory is that whatever the stock market is doing, whatever sort of economic period you're in, this is going to be a sensible one where it won't outperform everything, but also won't underperform everything. Pretty stable.
He stole that from Harry Brown.
Harry Brown.
Ray Dalio.
Sorry, Harry Brown.
Harry Brown's awesome. Like his book, How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. Really good.
Oh, I don't know.
He also ran for president, US president. He also came up with this, you know, this kind of permanent portfolio idea. Like,
right.
Very interesting guy.
Yeah, so I was interested in that, but then I had trouble remembering what the different percentages allocations are. And so now I've moved to an equal split. There's one here called the Golden Butterfly, which I think is probably similar to the one I'm doing in my Ideco, where I just keep 20% of the same thing or 25% of the same thing. And that's really easy. And so every time I go back after a few months, look at it and I see which one of these is the lowest portion, that's the one I need to top up. And it's just worked really well. It's just nice and steady. I don't need to think about remembering percentages and stuff. As long as I'm happy with that, like initial allocation, just try and keep those equal portions in the portfolio forever, basically. It's working well so far.
Fantastic.
Hopefully when I actually get to Ideco age, take it out, it'll still be working well. For conclusion, shopping bag hanging on handlebars is a no. Is that correct?
Well, actually, this almost killed me, so I think it's probably a good idea not to do that. So I had my shopping bag on the handlebars on my bicycle, and it went in the wheel and the front wheel. So the front wheel locked, and catapulted me over the bike. So, and somehow I did a perfect rolling brake fall
Oh, jiu-jitsu.
without thinking about
Instinct.
it, right? Yeah,
Wow.
instinct. So basically you roll along your arm,
Yeah.
and you don't hit your head, and you don't break any arms or wrists or anything. And yeah, it was great. But yeah, really dangerous. Get a
Wow.
backpack or a basket or something. Like hanging stuff on the handlebars is actually pretty dangerous.
Right.
And also illegal, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'd just like to sort of acknowledge the lengths that Ben goes to get a good story for Retired Japan. I hope the viewers and listeners appreciate that. 99 Julio says, I find cyclists as annoying as anyone else, but I think these new laws are going to lead to a great deal of deaths. I wouldn't be surprised if they walk it back. I can't see them walking it back personally. I think they'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and again, like no, the only difference is maybe pushing some people onto the road, but you're supposed to be on the road anyway. And I find cycling on the road is quite safe in Japan. Like cars generally drive a bit slower. They're fairly considerate. I mean, when I read stories from the UK, it seems there's a lot of drivers in the UK that really dislike cyclists, and it seems much more dangerous to cycle there than it is to cycle in Japan, for example.
Around our local town as well, more and more I'm seeing cycle lanes, and there seem to be two sorts. There's the one where there's the actual line, clearly like this is the cycle lane and you're not supposed to be in there. But there's the other one where it's these big blue arrows at the side of the road.
We've got
no
those,
clear line, and I'm not really sure. Does that mean it's like cyclists have priority, but cars are allowed in there if there's no cyclists around?
I think it's an awareness raising thing, as in, you know, there will be bicycles in this space kind of thing. But yeah, the cars can use that as long as there isn't a bicyclist in the space.
Yeah. It's still better than not having it at all, I think.
And they also tell you which way you're supposed to go, which I think is
yes, the number of people cycling on the wrong side of the road, that's something I see out here a lot.
Does my head in as a cyclist. Like I shout at them, get in the fire.
Okay. Again, be careful if you go to Sendai. Elemental Fitness.
Hey, if you follow the rules, it's fine.
Elemental Fitness Lab has a comment saying, so we talked about this, cycling on the road. I've never come close to hitting a pedestrian on my bike, but have been hit twice by negligent drivers on the road. Very sorry to hear that. I think you're going to get incidents either way. So it was just what is like mostly safe for your particular situation and environment, I guess. What else do we have? We talked about safety in Japan earlier, about that losing the wallet. Annette M. Furuyama, I got attacked in Japan twice in 1996. Very sorry to hear that. I hope not since then. Yeah, it's not perfectly safe. I think on YouTube you generally see both things, don't you? Oh, I can't believe how safe Japan is, and then Japan's not as safe as everyone says it is.
I think compared to the UK, my impression is that it's much safer for men. Like in the UK, there's a much higher kind of chance of random violence towards men, and it's probably less safe for women and children, perhaps. Just my impression, but I think that's getting better. But it's still a real difference there between, you know, actual danger to men and danger to other people.
Yeah.
I've never been attacked in Japan. I've had people make nasty comments, but that's about it.
Right. I think I've just been very fortunate in Japan.
I think you have to go out of your way to get into trouble as a man in Japan, I think.
And we are, let's face it, we're two middle-aged white men, and we're pretty much like that's.
But just the laws here, because like there's actual criminals whose job is to pick fights with people, and as soon as the other person does something, then they're legally liable for all sorts of stuff. So there's a real legal disincentive for violence, basically.
I see. Yeah.
friend of mine got attacked in Sendai. I mean, he goes out drinking, which I don't. So obviously that puts your risk up, several hundred times. But he got attacked by some random guy, and they had to pay him off to drop the charges or whatever. He got like 800,000 yen or something. So
hang on, who paid who?
So generally, you can just buy the victim off in Japan, right? So if you pay compensation to the victim, your punishment is drastically reduced in Japan. So that's where all these kind of slightly sketchy newspaper headlines, where prosecutors drop the case against whoever, it's generally because they've paid off the victim.
Oh, okay, right. But so it means they were held liable, so that's a good thing.
What's that?
It means they were held liable for attacking somebody, so that's a good thing.
Possibly. I think they should also face criminal charges, to be honest.
Right. But I think in some countries, they would just be let off, like get a warning, or it's their first time offence, we can't do anything, or we've got more serious cases to deal with. So that's what happened to me once. The people got off scot-free, and it was really not very pleasant, because there were other more important things to worry about. Yeah. And they had this particular case. They had so many worse crimes on their record that they were being tried for. Mine was relatively not important. So you can go through the trial thing, but they're going to be put away anyway. Right? I would think so. They're going to be put away anyway. So it'll just be a waste of your time. Okay then. Yeah. Anyway. Mental Fitness Lab also says a politician friend, I'm not sure which story this is relating to, but a politician friend made an insightful comment that these laws were made to deal with issues that exist primarily in Tokyo and Osaka. So maybe this is the cycling
thing, yeah.
Again. Right. Okay. Obviously, I haven't seen anybody, any police, looking like they're checking things around where I live.
Me too.
Right. And following up on that, every single day I see lots of drivers looking at their phones, watching TV, doing makeup. I have seen drivers on their phones. Maybe not lots every day, but then I don't drive every day. Let's move on to scams. Kelly Petit. Hello again, Kelly. Speaking of scams, I read that if you are going to Thailand, you need to get a digital entry login. And I Googled it. Shows a site at the top of Chrome's page. And then fill in my info, spend $250 for family. And then, unfortunately, credit card got charged, emailed me a few weeks saying that they blocked a recent transaction. Turns out that the company tried to use the credit card. Therefore, they were given back the money from the company, and I'm much more careful. The company's Wise. So Wise detected that it was a scam, blocked the transfer, and then paid back any money that they'd lost. Wow, pretty fortunate. Wow. And so how did it start?
Good job, Wise.
From searching for digital entry login or something, and then clicking the site that's at the top of the results.
Wow.
It's difficult to guard against that, isn't it? Because sometimes they are so convincing looking.
And sometimes the official sites are so bad.
Yes.
Like if you've tried to get a visa for India.
Oh, really?
Looks like a complete scam, doesn't really work, but it's the official government site. So
right.
I have a story about visas actually.
Okay.
Can I tell it?
Please do. The mic is yours.
So if you go to Vietnam as a British person, you need to get a visa before you arrive. You need to apply for a visa online at least a few days before travel, and you arrive with that. And that allows you to get a visa on arrival. Japanese people don't need to do this because Japan has an agreement with Vietnam. So the first time I went to Vietnam with my wife, we booked our tickets with miles. And I think this makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
With JAL. So we got to JAL, checked in, flew, got to Vietnam. My wife went through passport control. I got to passport control. They were like, where's your visa? I was like, visa?
No.
And they were like, right, we're going to send you back to Japan now because you don't have a visa. And fortunately, my special skill is dealing with government employees in Asia. Like somehow I kind of So I was
Right.
kind of like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Apologized. And after about 2 hours, during which time I watched them send several people back. One of the guys was like, "Okay, well, my friend can get you a visa for, X amount of dollars." And I was like, "Yep, no problem. I will pay
Oh,
whatever it
really?
takes."
Wow.
And it was really sketchy because I had to give my passport to this guy.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yeah, just come back in 2 days to the airport. I'll meet you here, and I'll give you your passport back." And I was we went off to our hotel or whatever. And I was like, "Wait a minute, that guy's got my
Whoa.
passport, and we don't have any contact details for him." But we went back to the airport, and he was there, and he gave me my passport back. I had a proper visa. Presumably, he paid someone to give me a visa after the fact.
Right, right.
Madness. And then
Oh, that was very
it gets
tricky.
worse. The second time I went to Vietnam,
Oh,
I forgot about this, and I went, for work.
mhm.
So a publisher was paying me to do the keynote address at this big conference.
Wow.
And a couple of days before, on a Friday night, I was like, "Oh shit, I need to get that permit thing." So I went in and they want 3 working days, and I was flying on the Sunday.
Oh, there you go. Oh, no.
And so there was not enough time. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Because like I'm the keynote speaker for this
Yeah,
conference, right?
yeah.
I can't just not be there. Plus the publisher was paying my travel expenses
Right.
and all the rest of it, and hotels and stuff. So I was like, what can I do? So I went online and I found this really sketchy looking thing that was like, "We will get you a visa." So you just send us some money now. We'll give you a fake visa form that you can show the airline, so they allow you to get on the plane.
Okay.
And then when you arrive at the airport, before you go through passport control, our agent will find you, and will give you the real visa.
No way.
And I
That's
was like,
possible.
"Wow, I'm just gonna try it." So I sent them however many $100 it was. Again, nothing. I had my little fake piece of paper that I printed out. Got to Ho Chi Minh Airport, and the agent was there, and they
Wow.
gave me my real visa, I guess, and
Right.
walked me through passport. And I was like, "Oh my God, this could have gone
Wow.
so badly wrong."
Obviously, they take their cut, but wow.
It was much more expensive than getting the real one,
Right, right.
but worth it to salvage my
Mhm.
career, basically.
For the second time, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
wow.
my tip there is before you go to a country, make sure you understand what you
Right.
need to do to get in there, because
Yeah.
it's changing quite a lot, isn't it?
Yep.
Thailand seems to be messing around with their visa system at the moment.
Right. The UK has. Yeah.
So yeah, the UK,
Japan probably.
you need your electronic visa before you travel.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Um, Going back to Kelly's story about clicking on the top link of search result and it taking to a scam site, it's really difficult to protect against that. The only thing I can think of is to try and go through something that you do trust. So it might be Wikipedia, then the embassy of Thailand or wherever, or even social media, trying to find the official social media account for Embassy of Thailand or something, and then going to their site and looking through. I would say look at the URL, make sure it's a .go. Whatever it is for Thailand. But even then, I suppose it's easy to call something .go. something.com. They've just bought a domain name that happens to be very, very similar.
And sometimes they outsource them to private companies too. So
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So you wouldn't necessarily go
maybe just crowdsource it, go to Reddit and ask as well. Is it, you know,
right, right.
'cause
Yeah,
you get the wisdom of crowds then, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sorry to hear that, but you got your money back, and so yeah, we've talked about Wise in the past. They're not a sponsor or anything, but
they could be.
we,
Wise,
might
just get in
be.
touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like Wise. I'm a big fan. Been using
Yeah.
it for a long time, and they gave me a share, so I'm a shareholder.
Oh, really? How did you get that?
Yeah. I don't know, they just sent it to me. They're
Oh,
like, "Thank you for being." I think 'cause I've had the account forever, so, they sent me a
oh,
share certificate back in the day before they're listed, and now they are listed,
oh,
so
I see. Wow, congratulations.
1, yeah. I don't know what it's worth.
Wow. We have other questions here. Mr. Cantonese again.
£94 it's worth.
£94. That's all right, isn't it? Wow. That will cover the transaction costs. So, question here then. This is going back to the finance. The British person applying for a spouse visa here. Wife is, oh, sorry, not finance. Wife is Japanese. We will possibly move to Japan 1 month before my 60th birthday. We'll be living off my personal pension, so I don't plan to work. Would I have to pay into the Japanese state pension?
No, it's only compulsory until age 60.
They're going to be moving 1 month before 60th birthday.
Maybe pay 1 month just to be safe.
Okay, but so basically from 60, you don't have to pay into. They won't have to pay into.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you're currently living outside Japan, but coming here to live. That's exciting. It's exciting. I do like hearing about people either coming to Japan to live or just coming to visit, because it sort of makes me think about the first time coming over here. It's like all the joy and the weirdness and the like the fresh, like, oh my god, what an amazing country. I love it. Going back to this moving to Japan, in your first 5 years, you are not taxed on foreign income as long as you don't bring it into Japan. How about personal pension? And what if I just have it in my Wise account and just use it with, drawing cash from ATMs or paying in shops with the card?
Technically, that is transferring money to Japan. I think until now, it's been quite hard for the Japanese government to detect that kind of movement of money, like using ATMs and so on. Whether it remains difficult for them to detect it is the best approach, in my opinion, is to, if you can, bring cash with you enough to kind of get you through 5 years and leave all your foreign income alone, so it's not taxable. And then after 5 years, you can then start bringing stuff over. And anything for that first 5 years wouldn't be taxable at that point. So if you have that option. But if you bring money over, that is deemed to be taxable in Japan. So if you have income.
Oh, you mean whilst you live here?
Yeah,
that includes taking things out from ATM or paying for things in shops.
Exactly. You might get away with doing it, but it is tax evasion. So if it comes to the attention of the authorities, and they're getting a bit antsy about people breaking the rules. So unless they're Japanese nationals, in which case it's fine.
Who's the sensei to? Right. Naski HK07. Hello there. Has anyone used or implemented the adult guardianship system here in Japan, which we were talking about earlier? If so, would you have any advice on the pitfalls, difficulties, cautions? So
haven't yet, but I realized that my wife's parents, we haven't set this up for them. And they're definitely at that age, they're in their 90s, so they're definitely in that kind of vulnerable age. And for me, the main attraction of the system, as I understand it, is that basically any contracts that they would take out would not be valid. So let's say someone comes to the house and they're like, oh, you need a new roof and, we can do that for you. So you just sign the paperwork. That basically wouldn't be valid because the guardians, which would be my wife and her brother probably, would have final say over that. And they could cancel any kind of contract or any kind of legal thing that you signed. So that's the attraction from my point of view. That's the big danger. They haven't got a lot of assets, but just, there's a lot of scammy kind of things going on at the moment. So I can imagine them, signing something that maybe they didn't want to sign. So.
Right. Yeah. Kind of related. Got someone I know of in the UK who has recently been diagnosed with a mental illness, and so generally sort of aware and in control, but trying to sell a house with joint ownership, and now it's debatable as to whether they can sign the contract to agree to sell their half of the house. But they legally, is it now they need to have a guardian to do that for them or something? So in that case, it was like unpredictable, unavoidable. But yeah, it could be anything. Even if you're not rich, it could be anything that you're going to get blocked. if you get sort of beyond a certain point. So it's hard to predict. So get guardianship dealt with as soon as you can, I guess.
So in Japan, apparently you can set it up before you implement it. So you can pre-register people.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
All right.
But yeah, there's a few lawyers posting about it on LinkedIn in English. So, that'd be a good place to start looking into it.
Yeah. We talked about portfolio allocation and then withdrawal rates. And so this is not advice, but one person's opinion here, Yevgeny Yaku, oh dear me, help me. Yevgeny Yakukushkina, I hope that's correct, apologies, 6272 says, basically 4% yearly withdrawal should last for many years ahead. I've seen this as like a sort of standard rule that many people mention on the internet. It's like, if you assume you're going to withdraw 4% per year, then your capital will roughly stay intact for probably as long as you'll need it. Obviously, it depends on the economy and your personal situation and stuff, but that is a rule that is worth looking into.
The 4% rule.
Yeah.
I have lots to say about that, but yeah, just look it up online. Basically, it's a rule of thumb. So I think it makes sense, but it's not a rule, and it doesn't guarantee anything. Just a way to start thinking about things.
Right. Yeah. Annette again is saying that never had any problems back in the UK. Talking about safety again. Never had any problems back in the UK, only in Japan. But it didn't put you off coming and marrying a Japanese man, 2 kids, and 30 years together. I'll leave it at that. It sounds like a happy ending there. Matt Black 1990 had nasty comments in Japan, whereas in the UK I've had a knife pulled on me.
So I was mugged in the UK twice and attacked once. So.
I think is that like the cycling thing we were talking about earlier. I think you can hear stories about any sort of situation. All we can say is like try and be as safe as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
More from Kelly Petit saying yes, the bank saved him from that scam. I think we pretty much. Oh, okay. So this is a good one actually. Going back to coming over in time for the 60th birthday and the first 5 years, you wouldn't have to pay tax if you didn't bring money over. Morgan Clinton says they brought a check in for £60,000 at one point. This is several years ago, I guess, and declared it properly. So you, above a certain amount, you do have to say on the form, I've got this money with me. And so Foregone Conclusion did so at customs, and they said, fine, didn't bat an eyelid, no problem. Oh, 2023, 3 years ago. So as long as you declare it, then that's a fine approach.
Yeah.
Rob McLaughlin, hello. I have a question about savings in Canada. I've been living in Japan for 30 years and want to bring a good chunk of money back here. Will I have to pay tax on money brought back to Japan?
So moving money is not a taxable event.
Oh.
As long as you've paid any taxes that you might have owed from, interest or capital gains or whatever in Canada, because obviously after 5 years you would be taxed in Japan on any worldwide income. As long as that's taken care of, you can bring over whatever money you like. It's not going to be taxable based on that. So, however, if you haven't been paying what you should have and you bring money over, that could well bring you to the attention of the tax office. So that's a fairly common scenario. You bring over a chunk of money, the tax office calls you in for a chat. They say, what is this money? Where did it come from? And they can access your bank information and so on in the other country. And so if you hadn't been paying your taxes, that's a good way to get caught. If you have been paying your taxes or you didn't owe any taxes in the first place, moving the money itself doesn't trigger any tax.
Okay. If it is a big chunk of money above a certain amount, then you will have to declare it in Japan anyway, won't you? Every year you will have to submit a form saying you
if you have a certain if you have more than 50 million yen's worth of stuff abroad, you have to declare it.
Right. And then even in Japan, I think the limit is higher, but above a higher limit, you have to tell them that you've got assets above whatever high amount it is.
I think it's considerably higher. You have to be making, I think, 25 million a year or something.
Right.
Or have assets worth more than 300 million. I'm pulling those numbers out of my air. So yeah, so very high earners and high net worth people have extra tax forms to fill
in. Yeah.
But hopefully they also have accountants at that income level.
Right.
So the accountants can help them do that.
Yeah. Jason Smith, 6106. What is the taxation treatment for those that have superannuation funds overseas? Will these proceeds be taxed when we eventually do transfer these funds into the country 12 years from now at age 60? Sorry, I don't know.
I believe they will, yeah. I'm not entirely sure how it's taxed, whether it's taxed as capital gains or something else. But you get taxed not when you bring them to Japan, but when you cash them out of the account, I guess. So that's probably something worth looking into just before you do it.
Yeah, at this point, I should tell everybody that we are not trained tax accountants. So tax questions, please do speak to a tax accountant.
Yeah, I've been to Australia, but I'm not super familiar with how the pension system works.
Natsuki HK07. Any thoughts on the recent unjustified jump in Nikkei 225? So, well, already you're saying it's unjustified, so we know what your thoughts are. What about you, Ben?
I have no idea. I'm completely agnostic on stock market movements and currency movements, and no idea.
Okay,
it's easy to make up reasons after the fact, but it's much harder to predict things beforehand.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I don't have predictions, but I do have thoughts, and I'm really surprised that the Nikkei and the S&P, I suppose, are so strong when, to me, everything points to economic troubles, at least at a sort of consumer level. And I thought that would filter through to businesses. Maybe it's just taking a long time. Maybe it is, but it's a few tech funds that are sort of overshadowing the performance of the rest of the stock market. Don't know. Personally, I'm not super bullish, but it's I've been wrong many times, and now I'm bullish. I'm not bullish, and it's still growing. So, yeah, that's my thought, but I wouldn't trust what I say.
I think the SpaceX IPO is going to tank the market.
Oh, right, you said that. Yeah.
I did. I want it on record that I said this a few months ago, and I still think it's going to happen. If you have the chance, check out. I think I linked it in this week's Monday Read. There's an amazing video by
yes,
you know that guy with the bald head, and he talks about.
I don't like the way he talks. A bit sort of superior feel to it to me, but it was very interesting too.
It was. I think he's quite funny. Patrick Boyle. Patrick Boyle did a video about the SpaceX IPO, and it's shocking. Like I wasn't a fan, and now it's so much worse than I thought. So yeah, check it out.
I'm trying to find it now. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Right. Yeah, I'm going to link to. I didn't watch the whole video, but I did. After that, I went and looked at the IPO document. Somebody's written a blog post highlighting bits of it. The value is like the space rocket. It's astronomical. I think it's over 100 PSR, price to sales ratio. I think something like that.
Yeah, I mean they're like, yeah, our total addressable market is 22 trillion. I'm like, okay. The total addressable market for RetireJapan is 22 trillion, you know?
Yeah.
Do you want to buy some shares?
Yeah. Right, and let's finish off with Kelly just saying, you guys, I think he means us, deliver solid and incredibly useful info. Thank you, Ben. I clicked on your money reads religiously and most links. So much useful info. Thank you for this, guys. I really appreciate that. And
so nice to say
comments.
So, thank you.
Yeah, we got a lot of nice comments. We got thumbs up and hearts up there as well. So thank you ever so much. We really appreciate it. Right, on that note, so we move on because we're getting out of time. The media, I'm going to skip. I talked about Die with Zero last time, so I'm going to skip that. But I
Die
just
with
want to.
Zero, great. Read it. If you're good at saving money, read Die with Zero. If you're not good at saving money, you don't need to.
I was a cynic, but I'm kind of swayed by his argument, and I have actually changed habits a little bit since reading it. So yeah, it's good.
Ooh.
But anyway, the book I wanted to share is The Art of Money Getting, which is maybe like 200 years ago or something now, written by P.T. Barnum. That he's the person that the film The Greatest Showman is based on, a sort of circus kind of owner, made a lot of money, some of it perhaps not super morally. And he wrote a book about the art of money getting, which is surprisingly good considering his background. Anyway, this blog post just sort of summarizes it very quickly, and it has 4 sort of principles from the book that I kind of like. They are: don't mistake your vocation. So basically, pick the work you're built for, then aim to be the best at it. It was Thinking Fast and Slow, or the other one another one that guy wrote, where he said, you might not love what you do, but the more you do it, you will love it, the better you become at it. And I think it's similar in that vein. It's like focus on one thing, become really good at it. And actually, that's actually one of the other principles is whatever you do, do it with all your might. So I think they're linked. Half doing something is expensive, but going all in, not in a put all your money on one bet kind of meaning, but the people who go in pull ahead of the ones who don't, is what he says in terms of working.
Well, it's like personal finance too, eh? Like my wife and I, we went nuts on personal finance for 15 years, and we don't need to worry about it anymore. So, for some people, that's going to work.
Yeah. Another principle is avoid debt like the plague. Kind of like with your motorbike buying experience. Debt eats self-respect. Just trying to do it if you can. And then the final thing is preserve your integrity. Nobody buys from someone they don't trust. And even though you're not a salesman, we're all kind of indirectly selling something, whether it's selling our skills for a job interview or whatever. Nobody buys from someone they don't trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that little summary there. What else do we have on the agenda? You watched Fusei Fudosan. Oh no, sorry, Shojiki Fudosan.
I did, The Honest Real Estate Agent. So there's a TV show called Shojiki Fudosan. I think there's 2 seasons of it, and I used to really like watching it with my wife. It was one of those kind of light-hearted Japanese kind of comedy drama type things. But the cool thing about it was they always had some kind of real estate scam or real estate kind of legal explanation in each episode. It's kind of like like a public service kind of thing. So it was really interesting for that, and also it was kind of a nice watch. And they made a movie. So there's Shojiki Fudosan, the movie. And as usually happens with these Japanese dramas, the film it's terrible. It's like, I guess they gave the TV show director like way more money and way more time, and they just didn't know what to do with it. So yeah, I've seen this a lot. So the TV show is good, and then the movie's just a mess. So I don't recommend the movie, but the TV show is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it says the love Tomohisa Yamashita, I guess, is he the main character in it? The Honest Real Estate Agent is funny. I should watch it actually, but the TV version, not the film.
Yeah,
version.
he's the main character. Yeah.
So do we have time for this? A little frivolous purchase confessional that we talk about sometimes. And I have a little one. It's not that bad, but it's what I'm wearing right now. So, yeah. I joined a gym, and I'm very fortunate because my company will cover the cost because it's a remote company, and they want to make sure all their staff are happy and well and healthy, and we get a wellness budget, which would cover this gym membership. And it's really good. And I'm not really a gym going person. So I'll join the gym. And then gradually as it got closer, it's like, oh, I should probably get some like clothes to wear at the gym. And I'm thinking everyone's going to be in their like pink headbands and the sporty leotard stuff or whatever the people wear these days. a bit out of date. I was like, oh, I need to get something. And then apparently you have to wear the shoes that like indoor purpose shoes, and I don't have any of those. So I go to. So the good thing is I went to Book Off. I only realized on the day I'm going to the gym at night. I need to get some like right now, and so I went to Book Off, and our one has like a closed section, and they had the only shoes that were my size were these Air Jordans with a white and red sole, never been worn in my size. Like it was, I know they're still wrapped. Never been worn for 7,000 yen, still with the tag on. So that was brilliant. So I
Wow.
did save money there. But then I got carried away a little bit. And then there's a sports shop, which I went to. I just have a look just in case. And they got a sale rack just by the entrance. So, sale rack, brilliant. Just like my 50% off for the car thingy. What they call it? What were we talking about earlier? Car sealing? No. Coating.
Car sensor.
When I see a sale or a discount thing, like something happens to me. Oh wow, 30% off these ones. Like I need, sports top, so I'll get a special. It's got this fancy like sport material, which is good or bad for sweat or breathing or something. I don't know. 30% off. So obviously I tried it on, brilliant. It fits, bought it straight away, and then it was only as I was driving home thinking, hang on, 30% off. So how much did it cost? And it works out 6,000 yen. And I thought, why did I pay 6,000 yen when I could have just worn a t-shirt? What was I thinking? So that's my confession for buying this overpriced. It's very nice. I really like it, and it's got this Canterbury fancy trendy logo on the top there. But yeah.
So I see you're getting as much use out of it as you possibly can.
Right. Yeah. I'm not gymming, but I'm gonna wear it.
You'll wear it on RetireJapan TV as well.
Yeah. So listen to myself. Check the price, not just the discount. Those red tags, they stop me thinking.
You'll probably get a lot of use out of it, at least.
Hope so. Yeah. So it's at least. So actually, the benefit. I am prone to buying new gadgets or stuff when I embark on something. But the benefit is, I really look forward to going to the gym because I can wear these new stuff that I bought. So I think that's kind of worth it. If it motivates me, then. Anyway, so we move on. Question here 123 Schlep. This is a good one. Which other personal finance YouTube channels would you recommend with consistently good content?
I don't really watch any other finance YouTube channels, to be honest. I prefer reading to watching, so I read really quickly. So I'd rather read a blog post than watch a YouTube video, for example.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many focused on Japan. So I mean, the reason I started RetireJapan is because there was nothing, and there's still nothing, which is weird because personal finance is one of the kind of most lucrative categories for YouTube, for blogs, for whatever, and no one's in the space with us. I'm feeling a bit lonely,
Oh, yeah. The one, I don't watch it regularly, but the one channel I can think of. Oh, 99 Julio shows his shoes. Sorry, I don't have them with me right now. Apologies. They're really cool though. I'm not a kind of Air Jordan kind of guy, in case you could tell, but I really like the shoes. Anyway, Ramit Sethi, yes, good one.
Oh, Ramit's awesome.
Yeah, that is good. He's good. Now, the one I have watched occasionally and I do like, help me out, internet. He's a British guy. He's older in years, but a bit older than me, I think. And he worked in a remote control model shop, remote control airplanes, I think, when he was younger. And then he saved money to actually open his own store. And then he made his own model airplanes, made a business out of that, made his money. And now he does videos about personal finance. And come on, somebody, you must know who I'm talking about. British guy.
He's not that like older guy who's like, yeah, I'm like your money kind of uncle type guy. Like
possibly, yeah. And he explains compound
interest. I've done business and now I'm doing the videos kind of thing. Like I know, yeah, I think I know who you mean.
Yeah. I've got a sort of London accent, and I quite like him. The way he phrases the video titles and stuff, it might look a bit sort of clickbaity, but the stuff he talks about is actually pretty good. That's Ramit said the I will teach you be rich. Yeah, which again, talking about clickbaity, that's like a really scammy title, but it's actually very good. Yeah, not Japanese, but relatable. Yeah, some common sense principles apply in any region. I hope that helped answer your question a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I will think about that a bit more for next episode.
There's a Canadian financial planner that I quite like. It pops up occasionally, but again, it's not something I watch regularly. Yeah, and then there's a few Japanese ones. There's these guys. What are they called? What is it? Shacho no Shisan something channel.
I've seen that. Yes, yes.
So they talk about like tax and stuff. They're pretty good.
Yes. Yeah.
I think with personal finance YouTube channel, it's not so much watching the channel, it's that I'll look for a specific topic and watch the videos that pop up. So
I knew somebody would come through. Thank you, Mark Tilbury.
Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking about. Yeah,
yes. Well, when I just typed it into the search engine, the second thing that came up was Mark Tilbury scams. I don't know if somebody's pretending to be him or what's going on there, but anyway, yeah, he's the guy. And I have to find his content is pretty good. A lot of it, I think, is quite the same. You don't need to watch every video, but yeah, it's good. Oh, there was another one.
I want to tell you about how to.
Yeah, how I did this. What they're not telling you, or something like that. Oh, there's another guy I like. Okay, I'm going to come back to it next time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's put that in next time. So YouTube stuff we like,
right?
Financial YouTube stuff we like.
Yes, yeah. There's a guy I'm thinking of who's in Shark Tank, I think, alongside Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban is the famous one, and he's the non-famous one, but he started a channel fairly recently, talking about this sort of point of view from being a billionaire, basically, which is interesting. Right. Anyway, we've got to move on because time is ticking. I've got. Oh wow! In a second, I will have a special thing for you. Where are we? That time of the night when I have a money tip for you. Now, I think I might mention this a few years ago, but we've got new viewers now, I'm sure. So here we go. Booking.com. Now, you may not like Booking.com, but bear with me. If you are looking for a accommodation, as I was recently, I booked a hotel in Hiroshima. Never actually been. I've been in Japan so long, but never been to Hiroshima. But anyway, I'm going, and so I booked a hotel. And if you go to booking.com and look at hotels in Hiroshima, this particular one came up at 34,000 yen. Okay, for one night. It's a nice hotel near the station, and I've got a booking.com account, and I'm on Genius level 2, which means they give you a 10% discount. So I log in and then search for the same thing, and the same result comes up, but this time it's 27,000. I guess maybe they give you a discount if you have an account, and then they give me the extra discount because of Genius level 2. So even if you haven't got Genius level 2, I seem to just have an account and then doing the search will show you a cheaper price than if you do not have an account or you're logged out and you do a search. Okay, so we've saved some money there. But then I go on my phone and I look, and the price has now gone from 34,000 down to 27,000, and now on my phone it's showing 24,000 yen, a whole 10,000 yen cheaper than my initial price. So I'm about to book that on my phone. It's a mobile only price, and it says non-refundable. Okay, I'll go back to the computer, do it on the desktop, on the laptop, and just pay the 27,000. But then it said it's refundable until tonight, basically till the end of the day. So for the next 8 hours, it's refundable. Okay, well that's
awesome.
Basically no different. So I went back and booked it on the phone. So yes, I got what was originally 34,000 yen hotel stay for 24,000 yen. So the advice is, if you're doing searches on booking.com, then do log in first. If you make an account with a throwaway email address, I think that's fine. And then do the search on your phone, or maybe do it on your laptop. But then when you find something you like, then check on your phone as well, because I've seen many times them have a mobile only price that is cheaper. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're trying to catch people who are like just like casual browsers and they want to sort of like grab you and pull you in. But yeah, often prices are cheaper on your phone than on your computer on Booking.com. And if you really don't like Booking.com, you don't want to use them, you can do that anyway. And then sometimes you can go to the hotel and say, I found a price that is cheaper than your website price. And then they sometimes give you that. They'll honor that lower price.
Yeah, I prefer to book directly with hotels.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's often, if you book online, you'll have to pay a deposit or you have to pay in advance. And it's really annoying. But if you phone the hotel, you can just book without paying anything or putting a credit card down. And often it's cheaper as well because they're not paying a commission to the third-party sites.
Right.
Much better option.
Yeah, I've seen more and more sites that not only they try to give you the lowest price booking online, but then if you join their club, which is free, and you just sign up with the email address, then they'll give you an extra 5 or 10% off. Anyway,
I am also a Genius level 2 on Booking.com.
Oh, wow.
And looking at it, like Genius level 3 doesn't seem to be much of an upgrade. So
no, I thought so too.
2 for the win.
Yeah. Right. And hotels are more expensive than Rugrats these days. I don't know what a Rugrat is. It used to be $100 a night for a 5-star, then the universe tends to send prices to another dimension. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Oh, I did hear a friend actually who has to come up to Tokyo. He lives in Kyoto. He comes up to Tokyo sometimes. And he was saying the same thing. Like, hotels are suddenly so much more expensive in Tokyo. So what he does now is he gets the all-in-one package with the Shinkansen, which apparently works out much cheaper altogether. He goes to SmartX, I think it's SmartEX website, I think it is. So yeah, if you're traveling and booking, then look for an all-in-one JR package, or Jal and Anna do them as well, so you could save money there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my money tip. We're gonna finish off on forum updates, Ben.
Awesome. All right, really quickly on the Retire Japan forum right now, we're talking about reverse mortgages in the UK. Someone's parent needs money but has a valuable house, so they're looking into reverse mortgages for that. We got a thread about crypto taxation. You do have to pay tax on your crypto, unfortunately, in Japan.
Not just selling, but any transaction switching from Ethereum to Bitcoin. That's
so the more you, yeah, it's a real nightmare keeping track of it, basically. So you got to keep track of all your transactions, including switching between cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do that, basically. Talking about PR fees. So the PR fees looks like they haven't been finalized, it seems.
Oh, okay.
So all these visa fees we're seeing in headlines and the PR fees we're seeing in headlines are not finalized, but it looks like they're going to be expensive, right?
Yep.
So I've seen like 30,000 for a 1-year visa, like 50,000 for a 3-year visa, 70,000 for a 5-year visa, 100,000 for PR, or 200,000 maybe. Like madness.
Really?
Wow.
But not finalized, so could change.
It's not decided, but that's the direction of travel, it seems.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about the SpaceX IPO and how everyone hates it because it seems like it's going to get rammed into the indices. And once that happens, then all the ETFs and all the mutual funds have to buy it so that it's on there. And I think this is Elon's little strategy. So get it listed at a ridiculous price. All the big financial institutions and all the funds have to buy it because it's on the index now, and therefore that'll push the price up even further. So yeah, seems a bit dodgy, really.
All end up owning a bit of it, even if you don't want to.
Yeah, basically. And I don't like that, but there's not really anything I can do about it, so I'm not going to worry about it particularly. Yeah. And maybe it is worth $22 trillion or whatever. We were talking about inheritance tax for a former citizen living abroad. So someone that moved to another country, took that citizenship, lost their Japanese citizenship, but then their parents left them an inheritance, and how tax works in that situation.
Right.
We talk about US tax software if you're a US person and you need to file taxes. Talking about switching iDeCo providers, which is a bit of a pain. It's possible, but it's time consuming. Someone wanted to buy Berkshire Hathaway through a Japanese broker, and it seems that's possible.
Really? I didn't know.
We were talking about international driving permits. So anytime I go to another country, even if I check online and they say, hey, you can drive with just the Japanese license, I'd still get an international driving permit just to make it easier and avoid hassle, basically.
Yeah.
And then there's a really interesting thread where someone posted the monthly bill for their wife's elderly parents who's in a care home, and you can see how much that costs and so on.
Interesting. Rough ballpark, what was it?
I think it was something like 120,000 yen, including food. So,
okay,
very reasonable.
Oh, that is actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was like hotel prices.
Much less than I could live on as a single, person living by myself. So,
I'm sure there's a
although I think it's based on your income or assets as well. So they have kind of cheaper pricing if you're not well off.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's the forum. Go to the forum, check it out. You can read it without registering. If you want to post, you need to register. If you're going to register, make sure you don't have your VPN or whatever turned on, because we're not approving accounts that have like random IP addresses. I found most of the kind of scammer accounts are from like Amsterdam. So but also most of the VPNs seem to go to Amsterdam as well. So yeah, make sure turn off your VPN so you have a Japanese IP address, and then we'll approve your request to join the forum.
All right. Thank you, Ben. A couple of little comments to finish off. SpaceX, code SPCX, needs to be listed for at least 12 months before it can be considered a constituent of the broad index fund like SP500. I didn't know that. That's a good thing. I wonder if it's the same for NASDAQ. I guess so.
No, NASDAQ, they changed the rules specifically for SpaceX, apparently.
Right,
so.
Right. And for conclusion, we can finish off. Berkshire Hathaway is at the same level as just before the financial crisis of 2008. I didn't know that. Who knows what that means? Who knows indeed. And on that bombshell.
Woohoo! Nice.
Okay, so I want to finish this actually, because this links to something I saw the other day. Currently 2024, maybe try looking at hotels through different IPs. I go through a VPN, because it will know if you go back and look at the same price again and again, it might know it's you're desperate, and it will bump up the price. So this is a thing called surveillance pricing, which everybody denies they're doing. But JetBlue the other day got caught out. Somebody sent them a question saying, the other day I was looking at a flight and today I'm looking at it and it's gone up. Why? And the support person replied publicly on Twitter, try clearing your cache or using an incognito tab to look at the price again. And people jumped on that and said, that is proof that you are doing surveillance pricing, i.e. you're adjusting your price based on what type of computer you're using, or whether you've been like refreshing the page, or how long you've been searching for, or something like that. So it seems it is a thing.
And the Twitter person was fired by lunchtime.
It was an error, apparently. The tweet is gone. And
so is the person that tweeted it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I think Crunchy 2024, that's valid. I don't know if Booking.com or whatever does this, but it's worth trying with a VPN or a different browser, or in a private window, private tab, looking at the same search and see if you get a different price. Hotels as well as flights. Right, and on that bombshell, I think we're ready to sign off.
Woohoo! Thanks for joining us, as ever. We'll be back on June 24th.
24th.
Stick it in your calendar.
Wednesday, 8 p.m. Goodbye from Mr. Warrior.
Have a great month. We'll see you in June.
Okay. Bye, everybody.